Hey everybody, welcome to week 2. We are so glad that you are joining us in this journey of just closing a gap for families in the area of speech, reading, narrating, sign language, as well as playing. So if you didn't catch us on our introductory video, we really want you to go back and watch that video, as well as our first week of tips in these particular areas. We came together because we found that there is a gap in our community to provide services for families and for young children to help them with speech. So again, just to kind of recap, I'm Angela Kadani. I am the CEO and Director of KidzStuff Child Care Center in Baltimore City, Maryland. And I am here with Miss Irene Aaron, who is the owner of Leaps of Speech. And together, we just have a passion to make sure that children are ready for school and to offer as many resources as we can to our community. So today, we're going to talk about narrating. What is it?
Yes.
How can I do it?
Yes.
And where do I start? This is another tip that Miss Aaron is going to bring us to assist us in this process of making sure that our children have the necessary skills that they're supposed to have by the time they go off to school. So what is narrating?
Narrating is talking. Narrating is talking about what you're doing, what you see, what's happening. Kind of like when you hear someone narrating a story or a movie, right? So it's talking. It's talking about what's happening, what you're doing, what your child is doing.
Awesome. So how do I do that? Because at home what we find is that we're rushing. We're adults, so it's very natural to us, and we give commands like get your shoes on, get your coat, let's go, you know. Like that's normally the language. Or if I have a really young baby, I might not find it necessary to talk to the young baby, because I might think this baby is really little, they don't understand what I'm saying, you know. So how do I do it?
Alrighty, so I'm going to give you 2 tips, all right? 2 ways that you can narrate. One is called self-talk. I know, it might be a little weird at first, or it may feel a little different, or even uncomfortable. Self-talk is basically talking about what you're doing. So, for example, if I'm reading this book, I would say, Mommy's reading. I'm reading the book. Mommy's turning the pages. If my child is sitting in the rocker while I am brushing my teeth and getting dressed, right? Because that honestly is what happens sometimes. Mommy's brushing her teeth. Mommy's combing her hair. Mommy is washing her face. If you're preparing your child's meal or a bottle, Mommy's making your bottle. Mommy's going to pour some water in first, and then I'm going to heat it up. Again, it may not always be first or second nature for you, but the more you practice, the better you'll get at it, and the more frequently you may do it. Next, we have parallel talk, and that means I'm talking about what the child is doing. So I may say, oh, I see you found that blue ball. Or, oh, that's a big stretch, you know, for the infants who are stretching early in the morning. Oh, are you smiling? I see you smiling. Those type of things. And again, these are things that you could do daily, and they really do require practice and just being consistent.
Lots of practice.
Lots of practice.
And consistency. So that's the key, right? So all of our tips is just to be consistent. So we want you to really try this skill. This skill can feel a little weird at first, but let it be as natural as it possibly can in your everyday activities. So during bath time, enhance that conversation with them. I'm washing you up. I'm washing your legs. These are your toes, and this is how we wash your toes. During the time that we are getting them ready and out the door in the morning, which I know can be a lot.
Very hectic.
Usually, and I learned this in another session, usually we're rushing. And so we're rushing them. And so we don't make room for just those everyday narrating moments that are necessary. So you might need to get up a little earlier.
Yes, you have to be intentional. Being intentional is the #1 priority when it comes to your child's language, your child's development. So I'll give you one last tip. Where will you start? Just to start, pick one part of the day that you are really going to focus on narrating and talking to your child. So that may be bath time. I'm washing your toes. I'm washing your hair. Oh, you don't like when mommy washes your hair. It makes you sad. I'm sorry. we have to wash your hair. Now your hair is all clean. You're going to get out of the tub, those kind of things. And then maybe next week, or excuse me, the next day, you say, we're going to do this around mealtime, and we're going to do this around bath time. Set the time, be intentional, and practice, because practice is what's going to make it feel more natural, and it's what's going to make you want to continue doing it as you become more comfortable with it.
I like what you said. Practice is not about being perfect.
Nope.
It's about it feeling a little bit more natural. So we want you to practice so that it's more natural, and be mindful that narrating is an extremely important component of making sure that your child has enough words by the time they get to kindergarten. We're so glad that you tuned in today, and we hope that you'll tune in next week. Please don't hesitate to share this information. Drop comments in. We'd love to hear your comments so that we are able to make sure that we bring those tips that you really need in your home, and possibly share some resources that we have acquired along the way. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next week.